Hi, this is Phil, and I'm here to tell you all about the Capes and Lunatics Patreon. Get early access to all of our interviews, including the monthly Chichester chats with writer and comic book legend D.G. Chichester, new episodes of classic Capes and Lunatics shows, including The Quantum Zone, This, That, or the Third, and many, many more specials, all completely uncensored. Access starts for $3 a month, full video when you pledge $5 a month. Check out the link in our show notes or go to patreon.com/CapesandLunatics. Hope to see you there.
Yea, verily, it's clobbering time. Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Marvel Tales, the Time Bubble Saga, Part 2. I am Phil, joining me, as always, the campaign manager for Death's Head for President. It is.
Just in the owl. Boarding the Rosebud 2 and getting ready for a journey.
Well, 2016 taught us anyone can run for president.
That's true.
All right, so yes, this time
I think Death's Head would do a fantastic job.
He would do a good job, yes?
Yes.
All right, so yes, Part 2 of the Time Bubble Saga. This time we're covering Fantastic Four 337 through 341. And again, following up on our old man conversation from last episode, I miss when comics had big numbers on them.
Yes, me too. As when you get to a certain age and your eyes don't work properly, it's helpful to see all the numbers.
Exactly. There's a bigger sense of history there, you know?
Mm-hmm.
When we started, Fantastic Four was already in the 300s. I didn't care. I'm like, oh, well, that's fine. I'll go back and collect, find the rest.
It wasn't a daunting thing back then because the history that came before, I mean, it was fairly substantial, but it didn't seem like it was so monolithic that you couldn't get into it. And
this whole jazz about, a new number one every so often bringing in fans, I don't know, because I was talking to a friend of mine at work. He was like, we're talking about comics. He's like, oh, a couple of my buddies are into comics too. He's like, I'd love to get into it. He said, but he says, he's like, I would jump into Ghost Rider right now. He said, because I don't know where to start.
Mm.
So, you do a new number one every year and people, confuses people. It's like, well, is this one come before this one? I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. Do we really need to have a new different She-Hulk series every year? Run for 12 issues and then relaunch it again at number one? I don't think so.
Or even when a new creative team comes on, you got to do new number one.
Yeah, no.
I mean, I guess it's
I don't really understand that.
I don't know if it's for the trades too, but again, you can always number the trades however you want, but leave the floppies alone.
Sure. And also, now that they're doing the Epic collections, that doesn't really necessarily matter anyways.
Exactly.
Because they're collecting stories, so yeah, I don't really get it. Yeah, I don't really understand it.
All right, now that we've scared everyone off our lawn, let's get
get off our lawn, kids.
That's right, because we got 5 this time.
Newspaper up.
All right. So yes, Time Bubble Saga Part 2. All right, we're gonna start with Fantastic Four 337 from February 1990 into the time stream. So this one wasn't that long after the Avengers. Well, I guess that was 88. So yeah, it was a little longer. But I mean, we waited a lot of years, maybe in a year and a half or something like.
I think something like that. Yeah.
So yes, into the time stream. Wow, writer, penciler, and inker Walt Simonson.
Yes.
You know what?
Triple duty.
Yes, I love I thought the John Buscema stuff art was good on the Avengers issues, but I like the Walt Simonson on this a little better. Yeah.
Yeah. For the cosmic stuff, it's a different tone, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. Colorist Max Sheely, letterer Bill Oakley, and editor Ralph Macchio. Here's a synopsis. All right. The Fantastic Four are awoken from their sleep by the sound of an alarm coming from Reed's lab. They rush there to see Reed working desperately over a massive machine. After taking some readings, he orders Sue to place an invisible force field against a part of the room. When she does, the wall suddenly tears open, revealing an endless void on the other side. Before Reed can answer their questions, he activates shielding walls to cover the hole and has Sue drop her force field. Then, inspecting the area near the wall, he finds metal fragments that confirm his suspicions. As Reed begins trying to analyze the data, Johnny manages to get an explanation from him. That tear in the wall was a glimpse of the future. Their future. Reed goes on to explain that he is following up on something he started to investigate during his and Sue's brief stint with the Avengers. Again, that
which we mentioned on the last episode.
Yes, the aforementioned around 300 era. I think it even says in the editor's notes, like around Avengers 300. There's your edit. That's the editor's note, kids. Editor's note. He tells them about a previous Avengers mission that brought them to a time bubble that exists some 20 years in the future that is virtually impenetrable. Reed explains that it has been learned that a renegade celestial is within the bubble, and it is believed that it is where he is constructing a weapon of incalculable power. The Avengers had discovered that the Council of Cross-Time Kangs were conspiring to obtain the weapon. Reed explains his latest experiment, the radical dodecahedron, a device that will allow him to pierce through time and space. He goes on to tell his teammates that the bomb was unleashed was an attempt to destroy his invention. Reed demonstrates why by taking Ben's cigar and placing it on a device. When he transports it 1 minute into the future, it blinks out of time for that long and then reappears. However, when Reed tries to send it some 100 years in the future, nothing happens. He finishes his demonstration by explaining that the time bubble prevents anything from traveling forward in time beyond its creation point. Reed then tells his team that they are going to try and find a way to destroy the time bubble and save their future. While Sue calls the Power family to see if they can babysit Franklin. You're going over to the Powers, Franklin. Pack up. Reed tries to take a nap. His dreams are haunted by a blue-skinned woman who tries to seduce him, but he resists due to the love he has for his wife. Meanwhile, Ben and Sharon are paying a visit to the construction site where Avengers Mansion is being rebuilt. There they meet with Captain America and Thor to discuss the Fantastic Four's mission to try and pierce the time bubble. Upon hearing about their mission, Thor agrees to accompany them due to his past experience with the time bubble. While back at Four Freedoms Plaza, Johnny is training and exhausts himself. His wife, let's throw some quotes up there, Alicia, suggests that Johnny should take a nap. When he does, his dreams are also invaded by the strange blue-skinned woman. In this dream, the woman is terrorized by a monster which Johnny destroys with his flame powers. The woman thanks Johnny with a kiss that he resists at first, then allows to happen.
Ooh.
I'm not into blue ladies. What, lady? I'm in the green. As Sue drops Franklin off at the Powers home, a Quinjet arrives at Four Freedoms Plaza carrying Thor and Iron Man, who had flown in from the West Coast to assist them on their mission. Reed shows his friends his invention that he hopes will help them pierce the time bubble, his time sled, dubbed the Rosebud 2. As they prepare to depart, Iron Man brings up the possible interference from Kang, but Reed is certain that their foe is unable to locate the time bubble. Before they leave, Alicia tries to kiss Johnny goodbye, but he suddenly sees her as a blue woman from his dream and freaks out momentarily. Wait about another 20 issues, you're really going to be freaking out.
You ain't seen nothing yet, Johnny.
Exactly. With everything in order, the Fantastic Four and their two allies board the time sled. Once the device is activated, they begin traveling through the time stream. After entering the perimeter of the time bubble, they find themselves being followed by hundreds of versions of themselves, traversing time to reach the same location. As they speed ahead of the others, Johnny is suddenly haunted by visions of the mystery woman from his dream and quickly passes out. Wait a minute. He had one of those dreams and then he passed out. Okay. Moments later, they begin to approach the barrier of the time bubble. As they get closer to the actual interior of the time bubble, the images of the other time sleds begin to dwindle as those alternate probabilities fall away. Once their time sled is the only one left, a vortex opens before them and begins pulling them in. As Reed reveals that he's lost control of the sled and Sue calls out for everyone to get their heads down, the time sled slams into the barrier. Oh man, the Fantastic Four was all over the place at this point. Yeah. Reed, Sue, Ben, and Sharon were last seen in Incredible Hulk 365.
Oh,
That's the middle of what is that? Countdown.
yes.
Yes.
Countdown. That's right.
Wait,
Yeah.
remember Joe was going to Reed Richards for a cure. Remember he's poisoned.
That's right. Yeah, and he got into a brief fight with Miss Marvel.
Yeah. He's like, Ben Grimm, what happened to you? You look horrible. Reed and Sue were Avengers from Avengers 299 to 303. We know about the Time Bubble thing, 296 and 297 of Avengers. And the members of the Power family appear here between Power Pack 54 and 55.
Nice. Yeah, I was wondering if Power Pack was still going at this point, but I guess
so,
it was. Well, okay.
Then they go in the whole Ravonna thing and
that whole mess.
She was claiming to be Nebula, but she was actually Ravonna. She was put in a death-like coma in Avengers 24. She later revived by the Grandmaster, as seen in Avengers Annual 21. After Kang gave up the power to save her life, to instead try to destroy the Avengers, as seen in Avengers 71. When the Grandmaster revealed the truth, Ravonna decided to get revenge against her lover, developing the Nebula cover to infiltrate the cross-time Kangs and get her revenge. Then they go into the whole why is Avengers Mansion being rebuilt.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Captain America showed up for what? One panel or two in this issue?
Little cameo appearance.
So he appears here between Captain America 371, the date issue.
Oh.
And Nick Fury, Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. number 10.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
There's lots of stuff going on here.
And Thor appears here from the third story in Avengers Annual 19, and Iron Man was previously seen in Iron Man 253.
Yeah, he had just gotten this new armor, I think.
Yeah. Oh, Lord. Okay, the Time Bubble. Let's get. According to Marvel Encyclopedia, Fantastic Four is designated in the future of Earth 8810. In this story, Reed states that the Time Bubble exists between the years 2005 and 2020.
Oh, interesting.
Boy, someone wanted to wall off 2020, huh? Of course, the whole sliding time thing.
Yeah.
It's always like 15 years in the future. It's just funny when they left. Did you see they were like, it was jumping from like 1990 to 1996, 1999. Oh, Lord. I mean, they didn't know anything at this point, but that would have been so funny if they were like, what the hell's Onslaught?
That would have been hilarious. Yeah.
Or even just, wait a minute, Alicia's a Skrull?
Yeah.
All right, so thoughts besides all that on this?
I love this. Yeah, I was hooked from the beginning of this story. Because I always love it when the Fantastic Four go off into either space, or another dimension, or just something other than Earthbound stuff. I love that when they're just kind of exploring, like the Swiss Family Robinson in space. It's my favorite. So yeah, I loved it. I don't like Sue's look in this with the short haircut, like kind of that severe Karen look.
It's almost too close to Johnny. It
Definitely, yeah.
They almost look like twin siblings here.
Yeah, it's weird. Yeah, and I had forgotten too about Ben being actually human again.
Yes,
this was the time when Ben was human, and Sharon was taking his place as Ms. Marvel as the Thing, and he just had some gadgets that he was using at the time that Reed whipped up for him, and he had an Indiana Jones-esque outfit.
He almost looks like Indiana Jones on the cover of this one, but yeah, if you read the actual story, he's like wearing a fedora and a trench coat. I'm just like, okay,
trench coat,
yeah.
It's so funny.
I'm like, what was Ben Grimm going along for? Moral support? I'm like, what the hell is he gonna do?
Yeah.
He could have stayed with Franklin. Come on.
Oh, definitely, yeah. I love, too, how Ravonna Nebula goes after Reed first. And then when she discovers that he's, it's not going to work, she immediately goes after Johnny. She doesn't waste her time with anybody else.
I know.
The young horny one's going to be all about this.
Yeah, because don't you think it would be like a bigger temptation for like Ben Grimm, because him and Sharon probably aren't physical at the moment, so it's like,
yeah.
But I guess Nebula wanted someone with powers, like you said. Right now, Ben's powerless. So.
Yeah. And that young, fertile mind of Johnny Storm is a lot easier to manipulate, I think.
Fertile, yes.
The imaginative mind of Johnny Storm.
I love Thor when they ask him to go with him. He's like, if the government will accompany thee, and mayhap I can bring a companion.
Once again, we've got Walt Simonson writing Thor to great effect.
Exactly.
Makes me happy. Yeah.
And again, it's so funny. I mean, we joked about it, but it's like, even after this story, Johnny torments himself about, oh God, I was thinking about this woman. I'm a married man. How could I be thinking like that about Nebula? And then, 20 issues from now, it ain't gonna matter. Oh, you think
I felt so guilty over Ravonna and for nothing.
You think you were bad, Johnny? Oh,
yeah. You can see nothing yet.
Exactly. But yeah, I mean, there's so much good art in this. Like I said, I like the Avengers issues, but I like Simonson's art even better, especially like that.
Yeah. And the last couple pages when they first reached the time bubble, it's so cool.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's trippy looking. Yeah. And the colors are great too. They did a great job with the colors on this. I think this is pretty much the same creative team from the Avengers stories. The letterer, the colorist, I think, are the same, maybe?
I think it might be. Yeah, but then it's just Simonson doing everything else, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Very cool.
Oh, yeah. All right. Should we get to part 2?
Yeah. Maelstrom.
Not that guy.
Different one.
Exactly. All right. And Fantastic Four 338 from March 1990. Oh, God. All right. Ready. Kangs for the memories, or guess who's coming to dinner? Kangs for the memories.
Oh, I love it. I love it so much.
I think it's the same team. Yeah, Walt Simonson doing everything except colorist Max Sheely, letterer Todd Klein, and editor Ralph Macchio. Everything else is Walt Simonson. Oh yes, and we get a certain guest appearance in here. Yes. All right.
Yes.
The Fantastic Four, Thor, Iron Man, and the Fantastic Four's Time Sled are all trapped within a swirling quantum vortex some 20 years into Earth's future. Johnny Storm has passed out and is taking Olive Reed's piloting skills to keep the Time Sled in one piece. As the Time Sled passes through the perimeter of the Time Bubble, its occupants are unaware of the presence of 3 Kangs who have been trapped there for endless hours. It says hours, but I guess and are now able to use their armor to match the time sled's course and speed so they can enter its slipstream and escape from the perimeter. See last episode, kids. Their enemies, Kang, Nebula, and Dr. Druid, arrive too late to use the same method to escape, so Nebula commands Druid to use his powers to send her mind into the vessel that has already been prepared. Once Druid complies, Johnny cries out and begins convulsing. No, I'm supposed to be in you. See that laughter just spurs me on, kids. They finally pierce. Not that. They finally pierce the distortion wave and solidify inside the time bubble. Johnny is conscious again and reassures his sister that he's fine. The group discovers that time is moving at such an extremely slow rate of speed that the entire futuristic city appears frozen. A probability field powered by the Rad-D unit in the present keeps the time sled outside of the distortion zone. Reed's chronoscanner detects that the source of the time bubble is an unbelievable warp in time and space that is out beyond the Andromeda galaxy. Seconds later, the explorers discover that they are not the only time strangers here. The 82nd century bounty hunter known as Death's Head has arrived in this era as well. A group called the Time Variance Authority, some of you may have heard of that, had hired Death's Head to travel to this era and determine why the time bubble had not collapsed upon itself as expected. Death's Head roars up in his sky cycle, and the FF and he trade shots before settling down to learn of each other's mission. As Death's Head prepares to resume his attack on the humans, believing that they are the difficulty he was set to neutralize, Kang the Conqueror arrives and tries to destroy the time sled's probability field generator that is keeping it and its passengers out of the distortion effect. Kang easily survives Iron Man's blast, but his armor circuitry is then shorted out by Death's Head's own weapon from the future. Conceding that the presence of a Kang could mean that Dr. Richards and his group are not responsible, Death's Head removes the Kang's mask, revealing that he is a reptilian alien and is not the same Kang that has plagued the Avengers for so many years. When Death's Head begins to question him, the Kang initially refuses to cooperate until Death's Head quietly explains that, as a mechanoid, he would have no problem with ripping out the Kang's eyes with his nice sharp teeth and then feeding them to him one at a time. The terrified Kang then reveals that the Council thinks that a renegade Celestial is supposedly making a terrible but unknown weapon at the heart of the time bubble. Death's Head then disables the Kang's armor, leaving him powerless and thus trapped. When Johnny suggests that they should kill the Kang because of the potential danger he poses, Reed is shocked to hear him declare such a thing and points out that, without power, the Kang is now a prisoner of the local time and harmless. With Death's Head stating that he will accompany them until he can learn who is responsible for the time bubble's continuation, Thor spins his mystic hammer Mjolnir and transports the entire group to the location of the great anomaly that Reed had detected earlier. Upon arrival, the group finds itself facing a megastructure, an artificial construct the size of a galaxy that is drawing the entire universe into its core. And the art, I don't know if it's just the art, it reminded me of like the Source Wall over at DC.
Yes.
Yeah.
Definitely. I can see that comparison too.
Where was I at? There we go. Iron Man reports that his armor's internal readings indicate that there is a spectacular gravity well within the central artifact. The FF and Death's Head venture into the metal canyons of the station, believing that the probability field surrounding the time sled and Death's Head's sky cycle will keep them from falling deeper into the core of the station, at least long enough for a quick pass. Without warning, the group is attacked by the two other Kangs, and the heroes fight back with fist, flame, and hammer. When one of the Kangs is defeated, the other one realizes that Death's Head must be responsible and blasts his Sky Cycle's probability generator, sending him back to his own future time. The Human Torch takes advantage of the fact that this Kang's shield is down while firing on Death's Head and unleashes the full power of one of his Nova Blasts upon that Kang, incinerating him. Reed is shocked by this, but Johnny immediately turns his attention to the other Kang. However, this Kang has realized that the Human Torch is under the control of his enemy Kang Nebula and breaks free, narrowly avoiding the Torch's flame blast by diving off the time sled and into the core of the machine. As the Kang declares that he would rather take his chances with the weapon, the Human Torch is enraged at the possibility of the Kang reaching the weapon first and flies after him. Knowing that Johnny will die if he flies beyond the probability envelope around the time sled, the FF try to follow him. As they all enter the core, everyone sees that the weapon is actually a black hole the size of a star. Something that the Kang could never have controlled. This Kang dies when he crosses the event horizon and enters the black hole. The FF noticed that there are mechanisms surrounding the black hole, indicating that it is being created and maintained artificially. When Johnny begins screaming hysterically, Susan spots what he's looking at and reveals to the others that an enormous Galactus has been there the whole time and that he is the one using the black hole to devour the entire universe. Since they don't have enough power to counterbalance the gravity well, the FF is now being pulled in by the black hole. So yes, kids, in the future, Galactus is even hungrier.
Yeah, that escalated quickly.
So yeah, so what you think of this one?
I loved this. For me, this was my introduction to Death's Head.
Yes, me too.
I hadn't heard of him before, so I thought, who the hell is this? I love this character.
Yes.
And yeah, I to me, this was kind of my favorite part because of that, because he just kind of came out of nowhere and just rocked my socks off and became a favorite character of mine for years. As a matter of fact, I dug out this. If anybody has a casual interest in Death's Head, seek out this trade paperback, Freelance Peacekeeping Agent.
Nice.
Which collects his early Marvel UK appearances, but it also has the Fantastic Four appearance that they mentioned in this issue. And it reprints this issue as well. So it's a great little collection if you have an interest in Death's Head. But yeah, I love it. And I love the fact that we saw the Kangs again, who had appeared at the end, disappeared rather, at the end of the Avengers story.
Mm-hmm.
They're back.
Oh my lord! Yeah, and then we saw Dr. Druid, and it says here, yeah, this is Dr. Druid's only appearance until that Avengers Spotlight issue.
Oh man!
Uh huh.
Wow. And that wasn't for a while, right? That was still for another couple of years at least.
Hold on, there might be a link here. Yeah, Avengers Spotlight 37. That was October 1990.
Oh,
It's like toward the end of this year. Yeah.
Oh,
Because that first issue was what this one, February. So yeah, it's like towards the end of this year. Oh, but that one was written by Roy and Dan Thomas. So
okay.
it wasn't Simonson.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I'll have to go back and read that one.
Oh, and I didn't even realize the Kang stuff gets even more confusing here. Because where is that? As revealed in Avengers Forever #9, Kang killed himself, which triggered a device that transferred his mind into a new body in his native 40th century and left a divergent self behind in the past, which was the Kang who joined the Council of Cross-Time Kangs, which was the one in this story.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So Prime Kang or whatever was, just watching all this, twirling his mustache.
He was saying, yes, excellent, yes.
Exactly. Oh, Death's Head appears here between Death's Head, the body in question #1, and Sensational She-Hulk 24.
Oh, yes, yeah. Which is also in that collection I just mentioned.
Ooh. And yes, as they mentioned, I believe in this issue, the Fantastic Four previously met Death's Head back in Death's Head #9.
Yep.
They made a deal with him, which they kind of hinted at, which was to send him home back to his time. However, they realized too late he was a cold-blooded killer. And Reed tried to stop the teleport, resulting in Death's Head getting transported to Earth 8410.
Mm-hmm.
Which, I looked this up, that's kind of the Earth of, I believe, Iron Man 2020 and that Machine Man series when he wakes up in the future and stuff. Yeah, so.
Yeah, if I remember right, there's a whole story where he tries to get out of that situation. Yeah.
So yeah, Death's Head, like, oh yeah, you're the guy who crossed me, okay.
Yeah, he's such a cool character. Yeah, that's so unique.
All right, I'm just looking through here, see if you else want to mention. But yeah, just some of this art. I mean, like that first page, like the shaking effect. They kind of blurred for that shaking effect.
Yeah, and the colors again, making it look kind of vibrant and psychedelic at the same time. Very cool.
But where's that one panel? I don't know. Is that this issue? There's the one where they make it's the one where Death's Head makes like one Kang like drop his force. Yeah, he hits him and makes his force field go down, and then Thor just hits him with. I love that where Thor hits him right in the stomach with that hammer.
Right in the stomach, yeah. That's good stuff. Yeah, sends him flying, and the other Kang just gets completely incinerated by Johnny Storm.
Yes. I mean, it's like, it's not even, it's pretty much just like Nebula, fake Nebula in control of Johnny's body.
Yeah.
I mean, see how many layers this eventually gets to? It's like Ravonna calling herself Nebula as controlling the Human Torch. Modern comics could never.
That's right. Another day in comic books in the year 1990.
Yeah, big Galactus.
Yeah. Love that. I wasn't expecting that at the end the first time I saw that. And I also thought, too, the whole concept of a galaxy-sized machine was pretty interesting, with a black hole at the center of it. The whole concept of it was really cool.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. It just hit me. Well, one, when I read this when it was first coming out, I was 11, which is what my son is now. And two, I remember bringing these 5 into school one day. I got yelled at in class for reading these during class when I was 11.
You had them out during class.
What's the answer number? What's the answer number 6? Shh, Reed Richards is about to enter the time bubble. Shh, please.
That makes my heart proud.
What's the answer? I don't know, but that sounds pretty awesome.
I don't know. I wasn't paying attention. Walt Simonson rules.
All right. I
love it.
That's how I spent like pretty much every study hall in high school, which is reading comics.
Wow, me too.
Boy, I wonder why I remember all the old ones.
Yeah.
Again, I'd reread them over and over.
Yeah.
I remember reading some of those ASBATs in study hall.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And reading all the letter columns. What are you bringing Bruce Wayne back?
Yeah. Reign of the Supermen. I remember reading that freshman year of high school.
Nice. Yes.
Yeah, definitely.
But yes, I remember reading those Nightfalls.
Batman, my favorite character.
Ray's like, it's Marvel Tales, damn it.
It's Marvel stuff.
All right. You got any other thoughts on that one, or should we get to number 3?
No, we can move on to the third part.
Yes.
Featuring a slugfest between two titans.
Another guest star, yes.
Yeah.
All right. Fantastic Four 339 from April 1990. Visit to a large empire. Same team. In the heart of the time bubble, the Fantastic Four have discovered that it is caused by Galactus trying to consume the entire universe. If it doesn't say that doesn't say heartburn, I don't know what does. All right.
Yeah.
They soon find their time sled being sucked into the massive maw device feeding Galactus. Loose from the ship is the Human Torch, who Reed manages to pull back aboard before he can be drawn into the black hole. Almost pulled into the hole, the Fantastic Four and their allies, Thor and Iron Man, struggle to get free. Ultimately, they manage to free themselves when Thor... Yeah, that's so great. Or like when they get stuck by the hole and it's like, they're like, oh yeah, even light's not escaping at this point, so you just get like black panels of speech bubbles. It's like, here, I'm going to hand you something. Okay.
For like 2 pages,
Yeah.
It's just solid black.
I know what we got to do. Here, grab this wire. Okay. But yeah, the Fantastic Four and their allies, Thor and Iron Man, struggle to get free. Ultimately, they manage to free themselves when Thor and Iron Man channel their weapons power into the time sled, giving them enough thrust to blast free from the pull of the black hole. However, they are far from safe because they have attracted the attention of mysterious electronic entities who begin to monitor their activities to determine if they will disrupt the future that has been planned for Galactus. Also, Sue checks on her brother, who seems to be alright, unaware that he's actually been possessed by the mind of Nebula, who is seeking to take control of the powerful celestial weapon said to be hidden within the time bubble. However, Sue suspects that there is something wrong with her brother, and Reed suggests that she keep an eye on him. Free from the danger, the Fantastic Four and their allies begin putting their heads together to try and figure out how they can destroy Galactus before he consumes the entire universe. Sharon comes up with the solution, using the weapons of the Shi'ar. Remembering how, in their own time, that the Shi'ar were in the midst of a civil war, she suspects that they would have sufficient firepower to destroy Galactus. Without further delay, Thor teleports them to the Shi'ar galaxy. There they arrive among massive warships in orbit around the planet. Since they are out of sync with time within the time bubble, everything appears to be motionless, allowing the Fantastic Four to travel unseen among the massive galactic battalion. They descend to the planet that has massive weapons dumps, and they begin loading explosives in the shuttles that will be taken to starships that will be hurled at the massive weapon that Galactus is using to consume the universe. However, after working for over a fortnight, their efforts are finally noticed from afar by this era's Gladiator, who, while traveling at hyperspeed, is able to use his telescopic vision to observe intruders working in Heavy Weapons Pit 39. Upon arriving at the weapons pit, Gladiator immediately attacks, leading to an all-out brawl between he and Thor that continues until Sharon suddenly intervenes and stops it by pointing out that they are battling in the middle of billions of tons of live explosives that could annihilate them all if a stray blast were to set them off. With a temporary truce called, Reed explains that they are what they are doing. After Gladiator uses his hypervision to confirm Reed's claims, he agrees to help them end the menace of Galactus. Gladiator leads them all to a massive weapons pit that he reveals is actually one of many complexes that are starships, and commandeers them for this task in the name of the Child Emperor Charles I. Even though doing so leaves the Shi'ar with less weapons to defend themselves, Gladiator insists that they must be used against Galactus because preventing the destruction of the universe overrides the needs of the Empire. Duh.
Yeah, you think.
As they are making the final preparations, Nebula, Ravonna, aka Nebula, using Johnny's body, questions why Gladiator has never overthrown his emperor and taken over. This line of questioning does not impress Gladiator, who says he is a loyal servant and suggests the Torch reunite with his teammates. No longer seeing Gladiator as a useful ally and concerned that he has detected a fusion within the Torch, Nebula uses Johnny's flame powers to damage his ship. Soon enough, all the weapons pits on the planet launch from the surface, and with Gladiator commanding them from the bridge of one of them, the entire fleet enters a warp zone that carries them from the Shi'ar planet to just outside the great machines of Galactus. Having been monitoring events from the future Earth, the disagreement between the observing electronic intelligences ends when the Prime Complex overthought causes the circuit that had been urging direct intervention to burn out, and then intervenes itself by activating the primary revival function in celestialization mode. Beneath the Diablo Mountains, a burst of energy is released that awakens the Black Celestial, who then bursts through the surface of the planet and rises, finally awake and ready to carry out his intended mission. So not only is like the art good and like the overall idea of the story is good, but there's a lot packed into these.
Yeah, this is a lot going on here. I wasn't expecting to see the Shi'ar Empire showing up in this issue, but that was a nice little diversion.
I know. I mean, I know she's smart, but I'm like, what? Where did Sherry pull the Shi'ar Empire from? And she's like, oh yeah, the Shi'ar.
Yeah, that's good stuff.
Well, Reed, you were reading Avengers reports. I was reading X-Men reports.
Yeah, yes. And it makes sense, too, that the Shi'ar would be really the only Imperium that would have enough power, firepower, rather, to do anything against Galactus. Yeah.
I was surprised last night. Lilith and I, was it last night or the night before? Lilith and I were doing a review of the whole season 1 of X-Men '97, and Lilith was going off how she hates Deathbird. I was like, really?
Oh, Deathbird.
I'm like, she gets on my nerves sometimes too, but man, it was like a vitriol.
Oh man, I gotta listen to this episode.
Salty and Petty, episode 70, 69 plus 1. All right. I'll wait till your episode 69, man. We covered the Sports Illustrated swimsuit issues, the history of the Sports Illustrated swimsuit issue. Yes.
Oh, too hot for television.
The plot includes the Kurtzberg engines on Reed Richards' vehicle, which may be related in-universe with one of the partners of the firm, Goldman, Lieber, Kurtzberg, and Holloway. Kurtzberg was the real surname of Jack Kirby.
Oh, interesting.
Uh-huh.
Wow. That's cool.
Let's see. The whole Shi'ar thing. After Uncanny X-Men 162, Shi'ar ruler Lilandra was usurped from the Shi'ar throne by her sister Deathbird.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah, and then ultimately, the X-Men helped Lilandra regain her throne during Uncanny X-Men 274 through 277.
Yes. Another personal favorite of mine.
Oh, yeah, we got to get there.
Yeah.
Oh, and we do get the mention of, when Reed saved Galactus' life in Fantastic Four 244.
Mm-hmm.
So he was like, do you regret that now? He was like, no.
Yeah. Having second thoughts, dear.
Well, let's see if the universe ends.
Yeah, let's see how these Shi'ar weapons pits do first, and then we'll start to panic.
But yeah, like I said, I love that page where they're near the black hole and you can't even see anything. Yeah.
It's so cool.
Just blackness and word bubbles until it's like, okay, here it goes. It's Thor and Iron Man.
Here we go.
Fire.
Yeah. You go blasting out of the black hole again.
Because I love Reed's like, Thor, it may tingle, so you got to hold on. And Iron Man's like close to burnout.
Yeah.
All right, so what do you think about Gladiator, Justin?
I like Gladiator. The
alien biscuit.
The alien biscuit. The mohawk is an acquired taste. I will say that.
Oh yeah, that thing's really
so
cute.
It's a little bit distracting, but yeah, I think he's cool. I like the fact that we have an alien Superman out there in the Marvel universe. It just kind of he flies around and he does the bidding of his queen, and he's just basically a superpowered enforcer. I like that.
Oh my lord, that's so. Yeah, when he comes crashing in and knocks Thor down on his butt, just that look on Thor, you're like, oh, know, it's on now.
Yeah. He just made a very big mistake.
And
it's so funny too how they just start wailing on each other in the middle of a weapons ammunition dump. You know, and Sharon has to be the voice of reason and be like, "Are you guys out of your mind? Using these blasts and things in the middle of this ammo dump? We can all go up in the sky high."
Exactly. Gird thy loins, fellow. I shall teach thee the lesson I once taught Hercules, the son of Zeus.
Those fighting words.
Yeah, I never thought we'd get a
Noisy
butt
man.
shot. I never thought we'd get a butt shot of either of the things. Yeah, but yeah, there you go.
There we go. Yeah.
Well, you wanted rock hard booty. There you go, kids.
There it is.
Whoop, there it is.
In full effect. Yeah, I love this issue. A great action, great progression of the story. And yeah, I wasn't expecting that ending in this one either.
Oh yeah, the Celestial.
With the Celestial coming out of the mountain on Earth, I thought, wow.
I love when all those weapons pits arise. They're like, we don't have no sound effect for that.
Yeah. Yep.
And again, like last episode when Noel was saying about how these older comics are better. I mean, it just seems like they're having more fun back then.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah. Well, they probably weren't getting as many notes either, and like.
Yeah, editorial notes and things. Yeah. It does seem a little bit lighter, doesn't it? The tone.
Oh yeah.
Even though we aren't talking about the end of the universe,
exactly.
It's still somehow lighter in tone. It's hard to describe it accurately, but the tone behind the whole story is different.
Yeah. Oh, are we ready for the next one?
Oh yeah.
I love that cover. Just Ben going, uh-oh.
Uh-oh. Yep.
But
you
yeah,
can say that again.
But yeah, that haircut. I mean, look. I mean, Sue's looking very jaunty on that cover.
Yeah. I can't. That's the only real complaint that I have about this story. Is the look of Sue in this is so severe. She looks like she's going to talk to the manager at the local TJ Maxx about something. She's demanding to talk to the manager.
Oh my!
Our whole family can suck it.
I don't know. She picks the wrong employee. It might tell them to go F themselves. So.
It's a very real possibility.
I think again, Justin posted something on Facebook the other day. I think we all said the same thing. I was sitting there sitting there with my wife. I'm like, that's my boy. She's like, what? I'm like, Justin just told a customer to go F themselves. I'm like, that's my boy.
I think a lot of people were saying that.
I know. That's what I said. I'm sure Russell, Noel, they're all probably like, yeah, man. I don't know if Lil saw that. I might have forgot to tell Lil that. Oh man, I'm sure she'll be proud of you.
Oh, she'd be entertained by that.
Oh,
absolutely. Yeah.
All right, Fantastic Four number 340 from May 1990. Double Trouble. Same team. Oh, jeez, another long synopsis, kids. Here we go. The Fantastic Four, Iron Man, Thor, and Gladiator are attempting to destroy the massive weapon that Galactus is using to consume the universe in an effort to remove the time bubble threatening the future. Just as they are about to send a fleet of Shi'ar weapons pits against the massive construct, the Black Celestial appears before them. The Black Celestial then uses its power to teleport the entire armada to a location within Galactus' machine and next to the black hole. As the gravity of the black hole destroys all of the ships, the sum total of their energy is released and consumed by Galactus, causing him to grow larger and larger as they watch. Just then, Gladiator's weapon ship appears before them, and the Fantastic Four race to its location. They rush inside and tell Gladiator what happened. Before the Black Celestial can turn his attentions to this new rival, they activate the warp drive and flee, although Gladiator mentions that the temporary repairs he was forced to make may not last. Once they've arrived in another part of reality and are temporarily safe, the group compares notes and Iron Man recalls how in their own time the Black Celestial was buried under the Diablo mountain range of California. Realizing that their enemy might have a base there, they lay in a course for Earth, but concerned that the Black Celestial may have already returned. They take the precaution of leaving the ship parked behind Earth's moon. With Thor staying behind to help Gladiator complete repairs, the rest of the group decides to investigate the Black Celestial's domain and are carried down to Earth by a space warp created by Mjolnir. Once there, Iron Man blasts their way into the Celestial facility where they begin to search for clues on how to solve the current crisis. However, after they enter the vast underground complex, an army of deviant guardians begin to materialize out of the walls and attack. During the fight, Sharon tries to defend Ben, who is without powers, but he is far from helpless, having brought weapons to defend himself with. With the number of their enemies growing, Sharon caves in part of the tunnel, separating them from their attackers so they can continue their search. Finding a massive computer, Reed has to use her powers to break the main circuit link so they can access the data banks and learn what they can about the Black Celestial. When Reed taps into a damaged circuit board and provides energy from the time sled, he reactivates the electronic entity that had been fried. By identifying himself as probe ZM-73 and claiming to be investigating board damage for possible misconduct by the Prime Complex Overthought, Reed tricks the consciousness into helping him by asking the consciousness to prove its reliability quotient by identifying its creator and providing a brief account of his history and his Galactus connection. The consciousness explains how the Black Celestial used to rule over all the Celestials, but during the time of the first host on Earth, he realizes how far above the others he had become and broke the covenant in some unknown way, possibly by creating the deviants himself without regard for the plan. The other Celestials turn against him and exile him, sentencing him to eternal slumber beneath the mountains. However, although asleep, the Black Celestial was far from harmless because he could still dream, and in his dreams he called out to his children, the deviants, compelling them to build a crypt around him that would eventually provide him with the energy he would need to someday awaken. As Reed listens on, Johnny asks Sue to take a look at something he thinks might help them. Suspicious of her brother, but unaware that he is possessed by Nebula, Sue follows him away from the others where Johnny tries to knock her out. Meanwhile, Reed continues to hear more from the consciousness that in the recent past, when Galactus was on the brink of death, the Black Celestial used his power to alter Galactus as he was being saved, so that Galactus's hunger would grow geometrically over time until he would need to consume the entire universe. The Black Celestial servants believe that with the destruction of the universe, the Black Celestial will become a god, and they will be his minions. With the truth finally revealed, Reed relays that information back to Thor and Gladiator aboard the ship, exposing his deception. Thor and Gladiator report back that they had discovered that the damage was caused by extreme heat, pointing to Johnny as the prime suspect in the act of sabotage on the ship. Needing to find Johnny and Sue, Reed, Ben, and Sharon prepare to look for them, but thousands of deviants materialize. Realizing that it has betrayed its master, who is coming back, the circuit board chooses to burn itself out. With the situation hopeless, Ben makes the hard choice to knock Reed out so they can get away, even though Johnny and Sue might be dead or dying. As they flee the area, Gladiator and Thor prepare to turn the ship into a massive missile to aim at the Celestials' complex. Since pinpoint accuracy will be necessary, something that cannot be provided by one of Mjolnir's space warps, Gladiator takes the ship down himself. As Mount Diablo explodes, Reed screams out for his wife while Ben holds him back. As they are reunited with Thor, the Black Celestial returns to Earth. Furious over the apparent death of his wife, Reed rails at the Black Celestial, vowing to destroy it for taking what he held most dear to him. When their foe tries to grab their time sled, Reed races through time and space to avoid it, but the Black Celestial continues to gain on them. However, this is all a ploy to lure the Black Celestial into the black hole that is feeding Galactus. At Reed's signal, Thor warps them away at the last moment, leaving the Black Celestial behind to plunge into the dark maw. In a massive burst of light, the Black Celestial is consumed by Galactus, and the heroes observe as Galactus's eyes stop glowing, indicating that the energy provided by the death of the Black Celestial has satiated him. However, the influx of energies only restores Galactus to lucidity for a brief moment, just long enough for Galactus to lock eyes with Reed. With the danger still present, Reed believes that the look he got from Galactus was a plea to end his tormented life once and for all. Thoughts?
Well, that escalated quickly.
We're jamming. As I said, man, we're jamming this in here.
Yeah, especially with the beginning when the Black Celestial just kind of warped all of those weapons dumps right close to the black hole and basically force-fed Galactus all that energy.
I know. Sharon's just like, oh my gosh, he just got rid of like the whole Shi'ar fleet with like a wave of his hand.
Yeah, that's some serious power. Yeah. And I love the part with the battle with the Deviants. That was cool. I wasn't expecting to see Deviants show up here, but the whole concept of the Black Celestial kind of being possibly the progenitor of the Deviants in the first place was a really cool little link. Actually.
Yeah, I do like that. It's like, oh, maybe that's why he was banished, because he created the Deviants. Yeah. Right,
yeah. I love that. I did think it was funny that the other Celestials thought it was a good idea to imprison the Black Celestial on Earth.
Yeah, let's not try to destroy him. Let's just put him to sleep. Yeah, because nothing's ever going to wake him up. No,
right?
No.
Yeah, and nobody's going to live on this planet. Like if he wakes up and destroys the planet, no big deal. There's not going to be any living matter on here, right?
He's got the power of a celestial, and he's been betrayed by the other Celestials. No, he's not going to wake up and be angry or anything. No,
he's not going to want revenge. No way. Yeah, and the part at the end when basically the Black Celestial is chasing them on the time sled.
Yes,
that was cool. I really liked that.
Yeah, I love Reed. You hear me, Thor? You pompous windbag.
You pompous windbag. Yeah, Reed is mad. This man is upset. Talking about how he's going to say, he goes down to the Celestial right to his face, and he says, I will sail to the time before your awakening and find your brothers, Erisham, Gemma, Gamenon, and the rest. And when I tell them of your plans and your revenge, they will find you and destroy you like the mad dog you are. I was like, oh, Reed, yeah, give it to him.
Everyone else on that time slide just...
Yeah. They're used to Thor popping up like that, but not Reed.
Exactly. But yeah, so he's chasing them towards that black hole, and that's when, Reed's like, you hear me, Thor? You windbag? He's like, yeah, I get it. And he's like, vortexes them out of the way, so the Celestial dies in it. And Reed's like, I couldn't, he might have been monitoring us. He's like, I don't even know if he can read our minds. So, I kind of had to keep an anger going. So,
yeah.
So yes, Galactus has absorbed the Celestial.
Yes. A little light snack for Galactus.
So, the Celestial's dead now, but, the whole Galactus thing is still going on. So,
yeah. And is the Black Celestial dead for good, or does he return?
Let's see if there's anything in the notes, but I don't know, because... Well, this is the future, so I guess he could wake up before that, but...
True.
I'm not seeing anything in the notes, so I don't...
Maybe this is his only story. For some reason, I thought there was maybe another one, but maybe that was some other Celestial.
Oh, wait, I clicked on link. It brought me the Tiamat, so is that this Black Celestial? Wait. I don't know if it... I'm not even seeing the story in here, so I don't know. Oh, wait. Heroes Reborn, it's saying, the Dreaming Celestial found a loophole out of his prison, a gateway into the Pocket Universe.
In Heroes Reborn?
Or maybe after the fact, yeah. Oh, yeah, he might have had some Celestials actually following him after a while. Yeah, if it's the same Celestial, he might come back. Oh, here we go. Earth 8810. I guess this might have only been an aspect of that Dreaming Celestial. I don't know.
Oh, wow.
This aspect was known as the Black Celestial, who betrayed the Celestials and was then imprisoned under Diablo Mountains. Again, summoned deviants. Eventually Fantastic Four. The Black this version of him might have died, but again, he might, like his past version might have. So, but this future version, he did.
Yeah, he's a Galactus snack.
He's now Cosmic Wind.
Tastes like chicken.
Oh, sail forth, brave traveler, on the Cosmic Wind. All right. Any other thoughts on this, or should we wrap this up with the last issue?
Yeah, I think let's move on to the conclusion.
The conclusion, all right. Fantastic Four 341 from June 1990, The Ultimate Solution. Same team. The Fantastic Four and their allies, Thor and Iron Man, are still faced with the problem of how to destroy the time bubble that's threatening their futures. Although the Black Celestial who instigated the situation has been killed, this future's version of Galactus is still being driven by his unyielding hunger to consume the universe, and the black hole that he is using to do so is what is maintaining the time bubble. However, Reed has had an idea that offers them the slimmest chance to save the universe. When Galactus consumed the energy of the Black Celestial, his sanity was momentarily restored, and in that moment, Reed looked into his eyes and had a thought, possibly sent by Galactus, that caused him to recall their first encounter with Galactus years earlier, during which the Watcher provided them with the ultimate nullifier, a device Galactus was willing to spare the Earth to regain because it was so powerful that it could destroy an entire universe. Reed has concluded that they must obtain the ultimate nullifier in order to eliminate Galactus, his machines, and the entire time bubble anomaly that surrounds them, and possibly nullify that entire future. As they prepare to leave for the world ship of Galactus, they get a sudden call from Sue on the surface of the Earth. She and her brother Johnny had miraculously survived the destruction of the Celestials' base hidden in the Diablo mountain range. Returning to the Earth's surface in their time sled, they find Sue, who explains that earlier she had been led away from the others by Johnny, who then attacked her. She was able to use a force shield to defend herself until Johnny collapsed, and then used her force bubble to protect them both when the base was destroyed. Although Johnny had been in a catatonic trance since then, Sue has kept him in a force field just to be safe. When Reed examines Johnny and speaks to him, his only response is to mutter, "Blue woman," over and over. That's right. Blue, sometimes blonde.
Not green.
Oh! After restraining Johnny aboard the Rosebud 2, the group then has Thor teleport them to the location of the world ship of Galactus. Upon entering the ship, they are caught in a defense system that seemed more like a trap for pests than a real threat. But Iron Man easily deactivates the device with his armor, and they are able to land. They then begin searching the massive ship for the ultimate nullifier. With only Reed's recollection of Johnny's account of where he located it for the Watcher. Luck plays out for them when Ben stumbles upon the nullifier hidden in plain sight, appearing to be a mere light switch in the wall. Reed removes it and shows it to Iron Man, but as they are examining it, Sue suddenly uses an invisible force bubble to snatch it from them. Sue, quote-unquote, now reveals that her body is controlled by Nebula, aka Ravonna, the former member of the Council of Cross-Time Kangs, who is seeking the Black Celestial's weapon. She explains how after Reed resisted her mental control, she took control of Johnny instead. When the others began to become suspicious of Johnny's behavior, she then lured Sue away from the others, subdued her, and switched host bodies. Reed's pleased to Nebula go unheard, and she tries to activate the ultimate nullifier. However, instead of destroying the Fantastic Four, she experiences a powerful shock that disrupts the fusion and forces Nebula's mind out of Sue's body, freeing Sue to regain control over her body. Reed explains that Johnny's mention of a blue woman had made him realize that she was controlling Sue, so he had covertly asked Iron Man to secretly attach one of his capacitors to the ultimate nullifier so that it would shock her and break her hold on Sue if she tried to use it. With Nebula gone, Johnny regains consciousness, and since the activated nullifier has created a sphere of nothingness around itself that will destroy anything physical that enters it, Sue uses an invisible force bubble to pull the weapon out of the void so that they can use it. Returning to Galactus, Reed reveals that he believes that Galactus wants to use the ultimate nullifier because it is some sort of fail-safe device that he hadn't had time to use. In order to get the attention of Galactus and restore his sanity, they then generate so much energy as they can and direct it into the maw of Galactus. The combination of Iron Man's repulsors, Thor's Mjolnir, and the Human Torch's burst of Nova-intensity flame is enough to cause Galactus to briefly regain his lucidity. Reed then throws the ultimate nullifier to Galactus, who clutches it in his fist and activates it, creating a massive sphere of nothingness that rapidly enlarges, destroying Galactus, his machines, and the massive black hole before continuing to rapidly expand outward to encompass and destroy the entire universe. Having begun to flee to the outside of the time bubble as soon as Reed had given Galactus the weapon, the heroes soon find themselves surrounded by white nothingness as they near their insertion point into the time bubble. Within the time bubble, Johnny spots Nebula trapped there and tries to reach out to her in a panic, but is pulled back by Ben as the void seemingly consumes her. As they exit the time bubble and re-enter normal space-time en route to their own time, the turbulence tears Iron Man's seat loose, and then Thor reaches for him, and they are both pulled off the sled and disappear into the time stream because the Fantastic Four aren't going straight home. So, The Fantastic Four continue on course for Four Freedoms Plaza, but their position drifts, causing them to materialize inside one of the walls. Sue's force field protects them all, but the time sled is shattered and needs massive rebuilding. After the calendar shows that they returned 3 days after they departed, the group turns on the TV to check the headline news and learn that Iron Man, Thor, and Captain America had met with the President at the White House on the previous afternoon. Reassured that their friends had returned home safely, all 5 of them go off to bed. However, once they're out of earshot, the news program that they've left on continues with a breaking story about how President Dan Quayle has ordered all United States armed forces to full alert and has stated that unless Soviet Premier Joseph Stalin orders his mobile missile units to be pulled back from the border of Greater Germany, the most dire consequences could result.
This doesn't look like Kansas, Toto.
No, it's going to be a start of a new story. So I just love how, Thor and Iron Man were pulled off the time sled. And I would assume that since they both have their own monthly books, they returned fine. But it's like, we just ripped them off the time sled. And it's like, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, we can't keep them past 5 issues. So,
Yeah, in one panel, they're both gone.
So how about in the Avengers story and even in this one, anyone else that's like, gets pulled out of that probability envelope, gets like lost in the time bubble or whatever, but it's like, no, they just land safely back on Earth.
Yeah, they're all right.
They're Earth, even though the Fantastic Four get pulled somewhere else. Yeah,
they just appear harmlessly, unscathed.
I know, because we don't even see that scene. Can you imagine if it's just like, oh, yeah, verily, I think we're back. Should it? I mean, again. Shouldn't the Thor and Iron Man have been like, oh man, maybe the Fantastic Four are lost in time. Maybe we should like tell somebody,
get the other Avengers rallied together, and
Or is it just like, well, we would have gone to Reed Richards for advice anyway. So if anyone could get him out of that mess, it's him.
I'm sure he's fine. Yeah, There's nobody better to deal with this type of situation than Reed Richards anyway. Yes. So I'm sure he's all right.
Yeah. And again, their first battle with Galactus was, of course, Fantastic Four 48 through 50.
Yes.
Nebula is not killed here. She appears again at Avengers Spotlight 37.
Oh.
When she and Dr. Druid escaped the time bubble.
That's right. She is in that. Yeah.
Yes. Oh, that's right. From their departure here, Iron Man and Thor end up back on 616 and are seen again in Marvel Comics Presents 43 and Amazing Spider-Man 339. Yes.
Oh, does it explain?
No. I mean,
there's no notation.
I don't remember the Marvel Comics Presents, but I remember that Spider-Man issue. No, Spider-Man needs help getting something in the orbit, and it calls in Thor. No, there's no explanation how he got back. No.
Oh no!
I was gonna say I can't remember if I read that more. I don't know if I read that Marvel Comics Presents, but I read the Spider-Man, and there's no explanation. Thor's basically a plot device. He shows up for like a page, and it's just like...
Yeah. Oh, gosh. Yeah, they could have easily had a few panels in Iron Man and Thor's respective titles, just kind of explaining where they've been and what they've been doing, and how they got back.
Oh, my God. All right. Now, can I show you kids how much care and time and effort and everything went into these comics back in the day? I mean, this Earth the Fantastic Four have landed on, I believe the only time we've seen this Earth is like in the next 2 issues of the Fantastic Four.
Oh, is it a 2-issue story?
I think so, yeah. But yes, per the official handbook of the Marvel Universe, A to Z number 3, this universe has been designated Earth 9061.
9061.
They gave it a number to Earth that showed up in 2 issues, yes.
Yeah, that's some detail. I love it. Mark Gruenwald would be proud of that.
Exactly. I was going to say, unless that was Mark Gruenwald in charge of that.
Well, maybe.
He was the big guy with all that detail, because isn't that like why they made those TVA guys look like Mark Gruenwald?
Yeah. The Marvel handbook, I think, was his baby. The official Marvel handbook. Yeah.
Yeah, even the character of Mobius and Loki, he had the mustache. I think that was supposed to be like a shout out to Mark Gruenwald. Yeah, an homage. Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that.
Played by Owen Wilson, Ellen DeGeneres. I get those two confused.
It is an uncanny resemblance.
I mean, at one point, didn't they have the same haircut almost? I'm like,
oh yeah, definitely. I wonder when Galactus appeared again next, because this obviously wasn't his death. He came back, so I feel like it was in Silver Surfer somewhere.
Oh Jesus! But that future we just destroyed, Earth 8810, is the second reality shown to have been destroyed by the use of an ultimate nullifier. The first was Earth 82432, which was destroyed by Korvac in What If 32.
Oh yeah, we'll be talking about Korvac next year on
Yes.
Marvel 2. Yes.
Holy crap. Yeah, so
A whole month.
So thoughts on this, Justin? Oh my lord!
I love it. I love it. You can't really get much more epic than this.
No, you could fit more story into a single issue.
Yeah, absolutely. For 5 issues, we got a lot of story here.
5 issues, modern comics. This would be at least a year.
At least a year,
yes,
if not longer. We had some great guest appearances. We had Iron Man. We had Thor. We had Death's Head. We had Gladiator. We had a rogue Celestial for the first time appear.
Galactus.
We had Galactus. We had Nebula, aka Ravonna. You know, it was great. There was so much going on here, and it never at once felt like it was overloaded with story, or that there was too many moving parts. It felt like it was really expertly done from beginning to end.
I think this is why when I read a modern comic, I'm like, damn, they're taking their time.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, it does feel that way. Yeah,
I love when the ultimate nullifier effects take
gaining
on them. All you get that 2-page spread.
The reverse of the black hole situation.
Yes, complete whiteness.
Other issue.
All you see is the time slip.
Totally white. Yeah, which is smart too for Walt Simonson to do that, because that kind of saves him from having to do a whole giant 2-page spread all by himself.
Mm-hmm.
And then he can devote that time and effort to other aspects within the book.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But literally, it's just one panel. Oh, Thor and Iron Man got pulled off the sled.
Yeah, that's it. Just one panel, that's it. I can't believe they didn't explain that, what happened to them after that. That's
because I think if they spent too much time on it, you'd be like, well, yeah, that's a awfully big coincidence that they just happened to land right back on the right. I mean, I don't know. Do you think Mjolnir could have taken them back, maybe?
Oh, probably. And maybe that's how they would explain it away if anybody ever asked them. But yeah, I think there should have been at least one issue devoted to that.
Although Thor's hammer doesn't travel through time anymore, so would they be able to escape the time stream with Mjolnir? I don't know.
That's true.
They basically just got flushed down the right tube that back to the Earth.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, that's one flaw of this story that I will say. That's kind of crazy how that happened. And again, Sue's haircut. Yikes! It's so severe. I can't handle this look for Sue. But everything else, it's fantastic. I kind of wish Sharon had been given more to do with the story.
Yeah, I was gonna say there are certain points where it just seems like they kind of forget Sharon's there almost. You know?
Right. I mean, she was the voice of reason during the battle between Thor and Gladiator in the weapons pit, but beyond that, she really didn't have that much else to do. And,
because even the battle with the Deviants, he basically just throws something once, and it was like, okay.
Right, yeah.
Well, that was the other thing with last episode, where it's like that final battle, that last issue in the Quinjet. It's like it seems like there were times they forgot Dr. Druid was there.
Yeah. Well, somebody had to fly the Quinjet, I guess. They didn't have autopilot back in those days.
Until he decided to go physically toe-to-toe with Thor.
Yeah. Launch himself at Thor. Yeah, don't use your psychic powers. Don't use your telekinesis.
It's
don't use any of that.
Thor. I'm like, okay, bitch, you ain't taking down the Wasp. Okay, come on.
He isn't taking down Jarvis.
No. Jarvis with an eye patch is probably still walking with a limp. You ain't taking out Jarvis.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, let me take off. Let me take hand to hand with a pissed off Thor.
Fresh from being mind controlled. Yeah, great idea.
And you've been manipulating his mind for the last couple issues. Okay, yeah.
I know we joked about it before, but we should do a Dr. Druid month sometime on this show.
I'm down for it, man. I am down.
We could do that Marvel Avengers Spotlight where he next appears.
Mm-hmm.
The one by Roy and Dan Thomas, and then there was a couple of other things after that. Yeah.
Oh, we're gonna do Young Dr. Druid.
Revitalized.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, we already kind of did him that when we did Cap Wolf.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
That's so funny. So Captain America goes in for help. Yeah, did you betray the Avengers?
I did, but I got better.
I'm good now. I'm young.
Yes.
All
All
right.
it took was a facelift.
More hair.
Yeah, right.
A 90s ponytail fixes everything.
Yes, absolutely.
All right. So, yes. Next time, we'll get back to some Reed and Sue. But, yes, with the Silver Surfer, because we're going to cover Silver Surfer 15 through 18 from the late 80s. And we're going to hit. After that, in 2 weeks, we're going to cover the first 4 issues of the Guardians of the Galaxy series from 1990. So,
yeah. Jim Valentino in full effect.
So this episode, we were in the future. So in 2 weeks, we're going to go back to the future.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. And then we got lots of good stuff coming, of course. Yeah, in 3 weeks, yeah, we're going to have an episode drop on 4th of July. I wonder who we're going to cover that time.
You get 3 guesses, folks.
That's right. Yeah, at that time, we're going to do Captain America 255 and 383. So,
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Good stuff.
That's good stuff coming. Spider-Man 2099 after that. Some Genus Fell after that. Then back to some Alpha Flight.
Alpha Flight.
Yeah.
By popular demand. Still, I think our highest watch episode on
It
Marvel
might be,
Tales
so
to this day.
We'll have to see if that was we'll have to see if that was a fluke or if
Yeah.
It's been a while. But yes, and then we'll be to August, and August starts Atlantis Attacks.
Yes.
Yes, so then for
get ready to take a dive into the deep end.
No, nice. So yeah, so August and September is going to be Atlantis Attacks. So
yes, 2 months,
9 weeks, kids.
Yep, high adventure on the open seas and with a bunch of scaly serpents.
That's right.
Pirates, arg!
I believe a certain
more blue people.
I believe a certain undersea biscuit shows up in those.
Oh yes, he does. But unfortunately, he's covered up with armor for most of the crossover. But
isn't he big in that Speedo on like that Iron Man cover? Isn't?
Oh yes.
Is that like the first one? Yeah.
Yep. That's a good one.
So for those 9 weeks, man, we're going to be covering the whole Marvel Universe, kids.
Yeah, you get to see pretty much everyone.
I think pretty much everyone who was in a book at the time, yeah.
Yeah, at the time, everybody was around. Yeah.
Solo guys, Avengers, Fantastic Four, X-Men, yeah, they're all there.
Everybody.
All right, so send us your thoughts on on the Time Bubble stuff, the upcoming stuff. Email us, CapesandLunatics@gmail.com, or call the voicemail 614-382-2737. That's 614-38-CAPES. And remember, you can find all things Capes Lunatics, episodes, social media, merchandise. Again, get your brand new Capes Lunatics logos and all the new merchandise. Again, you can rain random money on us through the Cash App link. Pretend we're all young girls working our way through school on that pole.
Make it rain.
She looks like she was just working a stripper pole down at Divas.
And of course the Patreon, where again you get uncensored Lilith Hellfire, and then this year, sober, untouched, almost virginal Lilith Hellfire. So yes,
all the aspects are represented.
The anger and frustration is at an all-time high, kids. So yes, you want to subscribe to that Patreon for uncensored Lilith Hellfire. So find it all in one place. That's tubespace.io/Capes and Lunatics Podcast Network. Tubespace.io/Capes and Lunatics Podcast Network.
More vicious and brutal than ever.
I love how I'm pushing the Patreon this year. Yes, come listen to an uncensored, sexually frustrated little fella.
She really is now more vicious and brutal.
Seriously?
Yeah. It's not false advertising.
You think Pawn Far was bad, kids? Oh my lord. 2024. Alright, Justin the Owl. You can find him here every week on Marvel Tales. You can hear him once a month here on X-Men Classics. You can hear him on Energon Universe, where him and Russell and I talk all the new Transformers and G.I. Joe coming out of Image. You can also hear him once a month, at least, if not more, on We Are the Night,
the Batman podcast.
But of course, the king of podcasting does not stop there. So, Justin, where else do you podcast?
That's right. You can also find me on 3 other shows a month. Gamma Charge, the strongest Marvel podcast there is, where Russell and I every month talk about the Incredible Hulk and the sensational She-Hulk. And we also have a Patreon page, so do check that out. Over on our Patreon episodes for paying tier members, we are covering DC's version of the Hulk, known as Damage.
Nice.
And that's been super fun, so do check that out if you are so inclined. And we are also joined every month by the High Priest of Khonshu, Ray, over on Predator and Prey, the Yucha podcast, where every month we discuss the new comics coming out from Marvel, centered around Fox's Predator, as well as the classic comics from Dark Horse. And last but not least, the Lost Library of Legend, my solo podcast, is still going strong, dedicated to the lost and forgotten comic book series of the past. And by the time this episode airs, I will have just wrapped up a 2-part retrospective on a 1994 series from Marvel called Black Wolf.
We're going back to the 90s here, bitch. One way to Biscuit Town.
Will Justin ever stop loving biscuits?
I don't think so.
No. It's a hopeless addiction.
It. Oh, that's naughty. My Tweety bird just went off just in time for that. Bird time.
Things in common, cannabis and comics and other things starts with C.
I think we all know what that is, kids. All right. God, we live forever. All right. Been bouncing around that time bubble for so long, kids. All right. Yes, come back next time for Silver Surfer. We haven't done much Silver Surfer, but yes, guest starring Reed and Sue.
Our first time covering Silver Surfer on the show.
And then 2 weeks after that, our first time covering Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, excited for that.
Yes. All right, kids, remember, make sure you have your acid hat handy.